Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to be talking about things you can do to prepare for basically what they call when the crap hits the fans, and there's been some talk that it's probably going to happen in the next few years. December 21st, 2012 is a common date people bring up for the end of the world, and given how the economy is moving and how things are going on in the world, it might not be too far-fetched that it's around that time. So in this video I'm going to discuss a few things you should do in the meantime. The first thing you should absolutely do is completely overhaul your lifestyle habits and get your health in order. If you're smoking, you definitely should quit. If you're, God forbid, doing drugs, you should definitely quit. I mean, you don't want to have to battle it out with drugs while at the same time trying to survive in the when the end of the world comes up. That's absolutely the first thing you should do. That's a very good investment to do, regardless of whether or not the end of the world is coming up. The second thing you should do is improve your survival skills. I mean, we all talk about investing in education, but the most important education you can probably have is how to survive. So things like hunting, fishing, and looking for wild food and growing food, and how to survive in the wilderness. Those would be important skills to have if something should happen, war or poverty or any kind of situation where basically if all of the supermarkets and all the restaurants were to close, would you still have food available? For most Americans the answer is no. So if you answer no to that question, you obviously have some stuff to prepare for. There's some talk about how things will go. One school of thought is that currency is going to collapse. In that case, I've made several videos on investing in precious metals. You can check out my other videos. And there's some talk about an all-out disaster where there's food shortages and you should hoard food and whatnot. So I've done both. I've hoarded metals. I've shown that in my videos, and I'm actually leaning toward copper and other base metals rather than silver and gold, because copper is actually useful. Gold and silver are only useful in a world of abundance where you actually have something to trade with the gold and silver, whereas copper is actually industrially used. In terms of food, I hoard a lot of cans of fish because fish is very concentrated in omega-3 fatty acids, and I believe omega-3 fatty acids is the third most important nutrient after oxygen and water, basically. So I have about, I don't know, 6,000 of these cans so far, and I'm still holding on to them. And the nice thing about these is that locally we have a few stores here, and they'll give me cans that have expired for free, basically, and I don't mind because I've actually eaten cans that have expired 30 years ago, and they still taste like they were made yesterday. So I think these actually last forever, at least technically. I mean, obviously the store has some liability issues, and they're not going to sell cans that expired 30 years ago. But last but not least, if you do happen to get through the whatever the end of the world disaster happens to be, another important thing you need to do is share your wealth with people who are not as fortunate as you are. If you're reading this video, you probably have a lot more wisdom on how to survive the end of the world disaster that everybody's talking about, and you should share your wealth. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your preparations.